Wow, not 30 seconds.
Wow, that was quick.
Never know.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and do this. Hey, James, you ready to get this going?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for joining the webinar today. We do this every month and pick a different topic to cover. I usually reach out to the customer base and they kind of give me a good idea of what they want to hear. Today we're going to cover the NEC, the UM 8700. And we have the pleasure of having James Francis from NEC, the product manager on the solution. Thank you, James, again for doing this for us today. The ideas of these are pretty simple, right? Pick a technology or solution that is of interest to the customer base, and then do a technology overview on that solution. Let you hear the latest enhancements, maybe the feature set, functionality, and then open it up towards the end for any questions you might have on that. So we do record these, and we put them on our Forerunner website. If you have any trouble finding that, please reach out to me. But if you go to our main website, under the news and events, you'll see all of our webinars we've done. We've done the 9000, 9500 overview. We've done servers and storage. We've done software-defined networking, biometrics. So a lot of good information on there. So with that, let's go ahead and start to the next slide. I do a couple Forerunner overview slides on every one of these webinars just to beat it into your head. No, I'm just joking. Just make sure that you know who we are and where to go and all that good stuff. So we've been around for a while, since 1988. Solid company. Right now we're employee-wise probably about 130 employees. We are an NEC Triple Diamond dealer, which is NEC's largest level partnership. We're a national dealer as well. And I put in there a quote there from Larry Levenberg, who's the Vice President of Sales and Channel Marketing from NEC. So they recognize us as one of their top partners. We're one of the fastest growing NEC partners and growing every day. Things are going really well for our company. Next slide. Oh, that's into the UM 8700. Okay. I do want to tell you a little bit more about Forerunner. So, I already talked about us being the fastest growing and all that. The majority of our company is built around operations technicians and engineers. I would say about 75% of our company is in that type of position, a very small sales role, and even the sales role, since we do have some technical background as well, so a pretty in-depth technical company. Our leadership team has been around for a long time. Before they were all put together with Forerunner, they were owners of other companies, technology companies that either sold off or mainly sold off to other companies. So a strong leadership team. They're pretty familiar with our industry and looking to grow Forerunner significantly over the next few years for sure. So a couple highlights. NEC, first NEC partner to do a virtualized SV 9500 solution. We're also the first partner to do a smart enterprise, which that means we took an NEC voice solution, an NEC SDN, software-defined networking solution, and then the servers and storage, and together for a company, and actually last week. So with that, we're going to jump into what we're here for today, overview on the UM 8700. And James, I'll let you take it from here, buddy.
All right, thank you, Stephen.
No problem.
Okay, I'm going to do a brief overview on the UM 8700, some of the features and functionality you can add to a UM 8700, and as I mentioned earlier, we'll take some questions at the end, so just feel free to jot them down, and we'll talk about them at the end. This isn't obviously a full release summary. It's just some of the latest stuff, 8.5 stuff we released in 2013. On the UM8700, we do service updates. A lot of times those are qualification efforts, but occasionally some additional features come in at SUPAC, but generally it's a qualification. In 2015, we came out with the 8.6. 8.7 we released, which is the current release. We released it in October of 2015. We've added some service updates since then. The most recent one we just added was in December. We did some TUI enhancements, some additional qualifications, some TeamQ enhancements. So 9.0 is coming on the horizon. At the very end of the presentation, I'll tell you some of the features coming in 9.0 when it comes. Quick review of the architecture, which is based on some of the features. Obviously, with the architecture of the UM8700, it has two main components. It has a call server, which is kind of where the telephony happens, the integration happens to the switch, and the system server, which is kind of the brains of the system where the database is. Because of the way those systems are set up, we can do survivability very easy with this system. We have high availability capabilities, which fully synchronized hot standbys. And we also have DR capabilities. All these are add-ons to a regular UM8700. UM8700 has huge capacity. We do over 752 ports. That's expanding in the future. Over 40,000 users, 20,000 UM users, lots of call servers, lots of system servers if needed. One of the advantages of the UM8700 is you can add call servers to this system relatively inexpensive. The call server minimizes your point of failure. It gives you another point where the calls come in. As I mentioned, the call server is where the call flow, the integration is actually happening. It's where the calls come in. If the system server for some reason is not seen, the call server can still act. It answers calls, it transfers calls, it takes messages. The only thing that happens in that circumstance is you can't pick up that call till it reaches back to the system server. So in the basic idea of a call server is you still have the flow, the application functionality, you just don't have access to it. So it gives you a relatively inexpensive way to get some high availability. So as I mentioned, the first area of survivability with the UM8700 is adding call servers. And you can do that from within a LAN or from a WAN side. Next capability is, after you've done some call servers, is you can add a system server. You can do a second system server. Here I'm showing it in a LAN environment where it's fully synchronized with a hot standby. The next option is to do it as a DR site where you're over the WAN. And here it's actually can be a warm standby in Neverfail, or it can be a hot standby if you're using Express cluster. And I'm going to go over this in a second. We've in 8.7 SU2, we actually rolled out the NEC Express cluster support. So that's another option versus the Neverfail. You wouldn't use them both in conjunction. It's a product similar to Neverfail that does the same kind of thing. It basically replicates the system server. You can also do a case where you would have system server with the system server high availability and a DR site. One note difference here is if you're doing Neverfail, you might have a high availability hot standby in the LAN, but if you're doing WAN, that's a warm standby. If you do Express cluster, you generally would not have the system server high availability on the LAN side if you're doing the DR site. The DR site is a hot standby when you use Express cluster. So for example, some of the things, this is a quick little chart that kind of tells you some of the differences between Express cluster and using Neverfail. So it's excuse me. It's integrated app and data protection. The Express cluster has some additional capabilities in there. The way Neverfail is licensed is a per port based. The Express cluster is based on CPUs. Excuse me. Some of the other things in here is it does do sync and async capabilities with Express cluster. The Neverfail is all async. It does support shared storage, active configs, things like that. It's a little different. If you have interest in Express cluster or even Neverfail, please contact Stephen's group, and we can get more people involved to share the differences. If you want to know what Express cluster can do, obviously we can get the NEC IT group to also help provide some additional information on how Express cluster works and the advantages of using Express cluster over Neverfail. We do support virtualization. In the past, we've supported the VMware for quite a while now. Last year, we did also support Microsoft Hyper-V now also, so we can support either virtual methods. We also have now, we've moved to soft licensing capabilities, so if you want to have a soft license versus the USB dongle, we can also go that way. That's just a quick conversion from a license standpoint if that's the way you want to move. It does require, if you do software licensing, it does require internet connectivity. So that is a concern for people. Then you may want to stick with the USB dongle method, which can also be supported in virtualization using a USB Anywhere device. Some additional modules and licenses from the UM8700 standpoint. The first one is using unified messaging. Hopefully everybody's seen a portion of these slides. Unified messaging has been around a while. It's used, it's probably not as used as often as you would think most enterprises would be using, but it is available. One of the unique features of the UM8700 is it doesn't matter how your email is set up, we can probably connect to it. We can deliver UM to multiple email stores and clients. You can also have different types of users. So as I'm going to go through a couple of these different methods, you could have users using server, users using simplified, users using secure. But we can mix and match. It's a per subscriber basis how you set them up. Serverside, that's probably the one that's used the most nowadays, Serverside UM. That's where it's a single message store of all the messages on the email server. So as the message comes into the UM8700, we actually pass the message to the email server. So the email client is the one, the Exchange or Gmail or whoever it is actually where the message is stored. We don't store the message in the UM8700 itself. We just pass it on. We do cache some of the messages on the UM8700s for if you play it back from the TUI, it is quicker to get that, and we're not having to go pull it back. But it is, messages are stored on on the email account itself. And we call that server side. We also do it, it's really no different, but we do it from the cloud also, so we support Office 365 and Gmail. We also support client unified messaging, or what we call dual store. That's where the email messages are on one server and the voice and fax messages would be on the UM8700 server. We also support secure. That's a little different because than the client, although the messages are still stored on the voicemail server. The difference is you have access to those via the web, and we can secure those messages down from the web, so you can't forward them, you can't offload them, you can't download a WAV file if you have that option turned on. So it's just a more secure method than being able to forward a voicemail message where the message would actually be part of it. The WAV file would be attached. Secure messaging allows you to get around that. Although it's not in your email at that point, it is a web browser based. The last one is the Simplified. That's just copying a message and forwarding it to another user's email account. That's something that's been around for a very long time in the voicemail world. We have a mobile app. We have mobile apps for both the Android and the iPhone devices. So you can separate your business and personal communications on your smartphone. From there, you can place, receive, manage your calls. You can have single number reach, mobile number protection because you can dial out from there and it will dial using the switch instead of using the cell phone number. So you're seeing a different number. You can also view and manage your voicemails. That's only if you're using client side. If you're using server side, you'd see your messages in your email account on your smartphone. Settings management from the mobile, you can also set all your different settings, your out of office, your greetings, things like that can all be set from the mobile app. These are both the iPhone Play and the Google Play Store. One of the other options is we have a component within the UM8700 to integrate with the UCE application, so UCE 2011 R2 and above. We support the presence integration. In this case, the UM8700 user greetings change via the UCE status. So the UM8700 will play a user's return date time via the UCE status. So for example, if you have an incoming call, it routes to UM8700. The caller would hear, Cheryl is on vacation until Monday, July 30th. Please leave a message. There's another option from the UM8700. This is if you had the NEC UC platform. This is where this would come in. If you're not using the UC platform, you could also use the UM8700 personal assistants. They're similar, but have their own differences. You wouldn't do both, obviously, just because of the way it works. So from the personal assistants, you can do telephony presence and availability. You can have interactive call screening. You can access and manage your calendars, access your contacts, supports Exchange, Notes, and Gmail. For example, if the call came in, you would hear you have a call from, please accept or reject, acknowledge, transfer, or review the call. You can acknowledge it, record a brief message saying, I'm in a meeting, I'll call you back. And John Taylor's not available, please leave a message. That previous message, the message before that is a, it doesn't have to be spoken. You can actually do it with a preset message that says, I'm in a meeting. So you're not actually barging in and saying, I'm in a meeting. You can actually do it. We also have speech recognition. Within speech recognition, there's kind of two components. Actually, there's two components within speech and two components of what it can do. The two components of the speech is we have a speech-driven auto attendant, which is internal to the UM8700. We support the basic U.S. English, U.S. Spanish, and Canadian French if needed. Plus, we also have the hands-free VUI, or voice user interface. So from here, this allows you to do things like access your messages, navigate your message queues, place calls to other systems, place calls directly, all from speaking the words instead of trying to use the DTMF commands. So for example, to access your voice messages, gotta hit the right thing. So as you can see, you can do these different, you can do all the basic navigation that you would do from your DTMF, but you can do it hands-free. A speech license comes with both the speech license and the text-to-speech license together. So the text-to-speech license allows you to do things when you're like in the auto attendant, and that it will actually speak the names of things or anything like that without having to record them. We also have the capabilities to do voicemail to text. We do use a third party to do this. Well, we have an option. We have an option to do a third party here. Somebody has a. Okay. It transcribes voicemails to text. Up to 60 seconds of the message is transcribed. Hang on.
Somebody. You mute.
Hang on, we gotta mute someone. Okay, let's try this. Okay. Okay, so from you can transcribe the voicemails up to 60 seconds. Yeah, I can't mute that. Keith, can you mute yourself? Okay, thank you. All right. We can transcribe voicemails to text. Up to 60 seconds of the message is transcribed. It delivers the email with an audio file as an attachment, and we can do multiple languages. There's two types of deployment options. There's the automated one, which is cloud-based voice transaction services. It's an annual subscription. We do 20 user bundles. We also have an enterprise where we'd actually put the server on site. It would be a dedicated server to that customer or to your enterprise alone. No one else is using it. And again, it's still a yearly subscription, but it is an on-premise transcription service, so it's not being sent out to the cloud. Another feature that we have on the UM8700 is the UC Connect feature. It's an IVR. It basically delivers information across the clock. Anything you need, it's using .NET environment, so you can pretty much program it for anything you need out there. The .NET environment is very rich, so it's very easy to program and find different libraries for it. It has, it is only DTMF at this time, so it is, but from that standpoint, you can do all these different things. You can do bills and claims. Basically, any type of IVR you can build within here, so you could use your ports on the UM8700 to do IVR functionality. Within UC Connect, there's a couple additional components we've built on top of it, or mini applications. One of them is TeamQ. TeamQ is an informal call center group. It allows you to have up to 50 teams and 250 agents. It does feature things like ACD, a UCD, agent desktop control, supervisor interface. It has some reports, agent controls. It's economically priced. It's relatively inexpensive. There's no CTI connection required on it. Some of the things we've been adding to this product is a lot of reports. So if you're using TeamQ, we have a lot of new reports that can be used to assist you. Another option that we've had for quite a while, but it's also built on UC Connect, is the outbound notification using Notify Express. It basically allows you to do something as appointment reminders and verification. So you can communicate a pre-recorded announcement or a text-to-speech announcement where you can ask, for example, please confirm your doctor's appointment on Tuesday, July 1st. And at that point, they can say yes, confirm, or not confirm. So you're able to send these campaign results out. You can send it at a certain time in the afternoon. You basically, during the low port usage times, you can set it up to use that. It's flexible. It has a campaign results, so you know what's been done afterwards, so you can tell whether things have been verified or not. You have the capabilities to send it. If somebody says, I need help with customer service, you could actually set it up where if they push a button to do that, they can actually be moved to customer service. It's a very flexible, very useful outbound capabilities. We also have a new fax offering. It's Xmedia's Fax. So if you need a fax capabilities, we also have the ability to use Xmedia's Fax. They have both small business, large enterprise capabilities. It has some mobile client coming to it, so it has some mobile app capabilities. New product out there is, but if you need it, we have it. It's ready to go. The next release, Q2 2017, still coming along just fine. It'll be version 9.0. Some of the capabilities we're adding into version 9.0 is multi-tenant capabilities. So we will be able to segregate within the UM8700. HTML5 visual voicemail. So within the web phone manager, we're upgrading some of the back office stuff to do HTML5. We're also moving towards web-based admin. The first, it will be a multi-release rollout. So the first release will have some web-based admin, different chunks of it, but not all of the admin tools will be web-based in 9.0. It will be coming in pieces. TeamQ call recording, so we'll have some capabilities to record calls within TeamQ. Some Notify Express support for SMS and email, so we have some additional capabilities of Notify Express coming. And increased scalability, so 752 ports is not enough and 40,000 users is not enough. We will be expanding that. We're doing some qualifications on that. That is a quick review on some of the updates on the UM8700, some of the features available to you. I'm going to open it up to questions now. And Reggie, is there anything I need to do to open that up, or is it ready?
I think it's ready. I was thinking, though, as we've got a few minutes, maybe a quick reminder for the folks, if you can. I don't know if you've got access to a couple of slides, easy. Just a quick reminder of the portfolio we have. Obviously, we're talking about the 8700 here, but we have another platform, obviously. I don't know if you could just talk for that just for a couple of minutes as a reminder for some of these folks here.
Okay, I'll try. I don't really have slides that I can think of that are pertinent to this. We do have as Reggie mentioned, the UM8700 is kind of our enterprise side of the business solution. We do have another couple of voicemails. We actually have a few more, but the couple others that I manage is the UM8000 and the UM4730. The UM8000 is a 91-9300 solution. The UM4730 is a 93-95 solution. Generally used for, it's used very often in the hotel-motel environment. It has our hotel motel platform out there. The UM8000 and UM4730 is built on the same basic platform. They're built on a Linux-based system. Again, it has features, a lot of the features in that side. It's a more limited system. It doesn't support the number of users or the number of ports that a UM8700 does, but we are expanding that also. Obviously, it has a roadmap and all that. I don't have that readily available. but we do have that product going forward. So if you're also using that product, you know, get with your SEs, with your account managers, and we can give you an update on that product if you need it also.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and make sure everyone's unmuted here. So if anyone has any questions for James or any questions in general, please let us know.
Okay. All right, if we don't have any questions, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. And thank you again, James, for giving us that overview on where the UM8700 is today and the feature functionality and setup design. I appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, we'll go ahead and record this session. It'll be on our website in the next few days. And if y'all have any questions or need any more information, please let me know. Thank you and have a great day.